The Vex Empire has ruled the galaxy for over 1,000 years. Their massive fleets control trade routes and crush any rebellion. Emperor Call sits on his throne world, believing his empire is unstoppable. The Vex are proud warriors with advanced technology and powerful warships. Admiral Rex leads the Third Fleet, patrolling the outer rim sectors. His ships are the size of cities, armed with plasma cannons that can destroy planets. The Vex have never lost a major battle. Captain Dana commands a small human exploration ship called the Aurora. Humans are new to space travel, having just developed faster-than-light engines. Most aliens see humans as weak and primitive. The Aurora carries only basic weapons and a crew of 50. While exploring an uncharted system, the Aurora accidentally crosses into Vex territory. Long-range sensors detect the human ship. Admiral Rex sees this as a chance for easy target practice. He sends 3 heavy cruisers to capture or destroy the small vessel. The Vex ships are massive compared to the Aurora. Each cruiser has hundreds of crew members and enough firepower to level a city. Admiral Rex expects the humans to surrender. Immediately when they see the overwhelming force, Captain Dana receives the Vex ultimatum: surrender or be destroyed. The crew debates their options. They are outnumbered and outgunned. Their small ship seems helpless against the approaching Vex fleet, but humans have something the Vex don't understand: creativity and determination. Instead of running or surrendering, Captain Dana makes a bold decision. She orders her crew to prepare for battle using unconventional tactics. The Aurora's engineer, Tom, suggests using their mining equipment as weapons. The science officer, Lisa, proposes using their knowledge of physics in new ways. The crew works together, turning peaceful tools into instruments of war. As the Vex cruisers close in, they detect strange energy readings from the human ship. Admiral Rex dismisses these as primitive technology. He cannot imagine that such a small vessel could pose any real threat to his mighty warships. The stage is set for a battle that will change the course of galactic history. A mighty Vex Empire rulers of countless worlds face off against a single human ship crewed by 50 determined souls. Neither side knows that this encounter will shake the foundations of galactic civilization. The battle begins when Admiral Rex orders his cruisers to fire warning shots. Massive plasma bolts streak past the Aurora, each one capable of vaporizing the small ship. Captain Dana doesn't respond to the Vex demands for surrender. Instead, she implements her crew's desperate plan. The Aurora releases a cloud of mining charges, simple explosives meant for asteroid braking. The Vex laugh at this primitive response. Their shields can easily handle such weak weapons, but the humans have modified the charges. Each one contains a small quantum destabilizer that Tom built from spare parts. When the charges explode against the Vex shields, they create microscopic tears in space-time itself. The first Vex cruiser, Dominance, experiences shield failure across multiple sections. Admiral Rex is confused, but not worried. His ship still has massive armor plating and superior firepower. He orders all 3 cruisers to open fire with full power. Captain Dana maneuvers the Aurora through the plasma barrage with impossible precision. The human ship seems to dance between the deadly energy beams. Lisa has calculated the exact firing patterns based on Vex military doctrine found in captured databases. The Aurora launches its second wave of attacks, modified sensor probes that act like guided missiles. These small devices slip through the gaps in Vex armor that the mining charges created. They burrow deep into the ship's hull before exploding. Dominance suffers internal explosions throughout its structure. Critical systems fail as the human-made devices target power conduits and life support systems. The massive Vex cruiser begins listing to one side, venting atmosphere and debris. Admiral Rex realizes he has underestimated the humans. He orders the other two cruisers, Terror and Conquest, to attack from different angles. The Vex use their superior speed to surround the human ship. But Captain Dinah has anticipated this move. The Aurora drops a series of modified cargo containers that create an electromagnetic field. This field disrupts Vex targeting systems while providing cover for the human ship. Tom activates the Aurora's most desperate weapon, the ship's own faster-than-light drive. Instead of using it for travel, he creates a localized space distortion. This tears a hole in reality near the Vex formation. The artificial gravity well pulls Terror off course, sending it spinning toward Conquest. The two massive ships collide. In a shower of metal and plasma, both vessels suffer severe damage, their crews struggling to regain control. Meanwhile, dominance continues to deteriorate. Internal fires spread through its corridors as life support systems fail. Admiral Rex orders an evacuation, but half his crew is already dead or trapped. The humans press their advantage. Captain Dana orders a ramming attack on the crippled Dominance. The Aurora accelerates directly toward the massive Vex cruiser, its hull glowing from atmospheric friction. At the last moment, Tom activates another quantum destabilizer. This one is built into the Aurora's own hull. The human ship phases partially out of normal space, allowing it to pass through the Vex armor like a ghost. The Aurora emerges from the other side of Dominance, leaving a trail of quantum disruption through the cruiser's core systems. The Vex flagship begins breaking apart from within, its structure unable to handle the space-time distortions. Admiral Rex watches in horror as his mighty fleet crumbles before a single human vessel. 3 of the Empire's most powerful warships lie crippled or destroyed. The impossible has happened. Humans have defeated Vex forces in open combat. The Aurora hovers amid the wreckage, its hull scarred but intact. Captain Dana broadcasts a message to the surviving Vex. This is what happens when you underestimate humanity. Tell your Empire what you saw here today. Asterisk news of the battle spreads across the galaxy like wildfire. 3 Vex cruisers destroyed by a single human ship. The story seems impossible. Most alien species refuse to believe it at first. The Vex Empire has ruled for 1,000 years without a single major defeat. Emperor, Call receives Admiral Rex's report in his throne room on the capital world of Vex Prime. The massive chamber is filled with advisors and military commanders. They all stare in silence as Rex describes the battle. His uniform is torn and burned from the evacuation. One small ship did this. Emperor Call's voice echoes through the chamber. His forearms gesture at the holographic display, showing the wreckage. 50 humans destroyed the Dominance and crippled 2 other cruisers. Admiral Rex nods grimly. Their technology is unlike anything we've seen, Emperor. They don't fight like other species. They use their own ship as a weapon. They turn peaceful tools into instruments of war. The Emperor's military advisors begin arguing among themselves. General Vior claims the humans got lucky. Admiral Dex insists they must have stolen advanced technology from another species. None of them want to admit that their empire might be vulnerable, but Emperor Call sees the truth. The humans didn't win through superior technology. They won through superior thinking. The Vex have grown soft and predictable after centuries of easy victories. They follow the same battle tactics their ancestors used. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, other alien species watch the news with growing interest. The Tau Republic has been secretly planning rebellion for decades. The free colonies on the Rim worlds see hope for the first time in generations. Even neutral traders begin to whisper about change coming to the galaxy. Captain Dana and her crew reach the nearest human colony world, New Terra. The colonial government barely believes their story until they see the battle recordings. The footage shows the Aurora dancing through plasma fire and phasing through. Vex armor like a ghost ship. Governor Mark calls an emergency session of the Colonial Council. Representatives from 12 human worlds gather via hologram to discuss the implications. They know the Vex will come for revenge, probably with a much larger fleet. We need to prepare for war, Dana tells the Council. The Empire won't let this defeat go unanswered. They'll send everything they have to crush us before other species get ideas about rebellion. But the humans have advantages the Vex don't. Understand, human colonies are scattered and independent. Each world has developed its own solutions to local problems. They think differently from the centralized Vex command structure. Engineer Tom shares his modifications with human shipyards across the colonies. Within days, mining ships and cargo haulers begin installing quantum destabilizers and space-time distortion fields. Humans turn every vessel into a potential warship. The Vex Empire mobilizes its second fleet under Admiral Kane. 50 heavy cruisers and 200 support ships begin moving toward human space. Emperor Call declares that humanity will be wiped out as an example to other species, but the humans are ready. Captain Dana receives command of the Aurora Squadron, 12 modified ships crewed by volunteers from across the colonies. Each vessel carries new weapons based on Tom's designs and Lisa's calculations. Other human colonies contribute their own innovations. The mining world of Ceres develops asteroid-based missiles. The research station at Alpha Base creates drone swarms controlled by artificial intelligence. The farming world of Eden builds ships that can hide in planetary rings. Asterisk. As the Vex Second Fleet approaches human space, they expect to find frightened colonists begging for mercy. Instead, they discover a network of hidden bases and mobile fleets. The humans have learned from their first victory and prepared for total war. The galaxy holds its breath as two civilizations prepare for a conflict that will reshape the balance of power. The mighty Vex Empire, rulers of countless worlds, faces a young human species that refuses to bow before superior numbers. In his throne room, Emperor Call studies reports from his scouts. The humans have fortified every asteroid and moon in their territory. Their ships move in unpredictable patterns, never staying in one place long enough to target effectively. They're not fighting like a civilization, General VOR observes. They're fighting like a virus, spreading everywhere at once. Emperor Call realizes his empire faces something it has never encountered before, an enemy that doesn't play by the established rules of galactic warfare. The humans fight with desperation and creativity that the Vex military doctrine cannot counter. The stage is set for a war that will determine whether the galaxy remains under imperial rule or breaks free into a new age of independence and innovation. Asterisk. Admiral Kane's Second Fleet arrives at the edge of human space expecting quick victory. 50 Vex cruisers spread across 3 systems, preparing to bombard human colonies into submission. The Admiral broadcasts surrender demands to every human world. You have 1 hour to surrender unconditionally. Kane's message echoes across the colonies. The Empire offers mercy to those who submit immediately. Resistance will result in total annihilation. But the humans have spent weeks preparing for this moment. Captain Dana leads the Aurora Squadron from their hidden base inside a hollow asteroid. Her ships are modified beyond recognition, bristling with quantum weapons and space-time distortion generators. The first Vex attack begins at New Terra, the largest human colony. 20 cruisers approach the planet, expecting to find orbital defenses and military stations. Instead, they encounter something impossible. The planet itself seems to be fighting back. The humans have weaponized their mining equipment on a massive scale. Orbital platforms launch streams of modified mining charges that create cascading shield failures across the Vex fleet. The charges don't destroy ships directly. They make them vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Captain Jack leads the defense of New Terra with 5 converted cargo haulers. His ships dart between the massive Vex cruisers like insects around giants. The humans use hit-and-run tactics, striking critical systems and disappearing before the enemy can respond. The Vex cruiser Vengeance suffers catastrophic engine failure when human raiders destroy its power conduits. The massive ship drifts helplessly as smaller human vessels swarm around it like angry wasps. They attach demolition charges to weak points in the armor. Admiral Kane watches in frustration as his organized battle plan falls apart. The humans don't fight according to standard military doctrine. They attack from unexpected directions and target systems the Vex consider unimportant. At the agricultural world of Eden, the humans use a different strategy. They hide their ships among the gas giants' rings, using ice and rock as camouflage. When the Vex fleet arrives, they find what appears to be an undefended system, but as the cruisers move into orbit, the rings themselves come alive. Hundreds of small human craft emerge from the debris, each one carrying experimental weapons. They attack simultaneously from all directions, overwhelming Vex defensive systems. Engineer Pete leads a squadron of converted, mining barges against the Vex flagship destroyer. His ships use gravity tethers designed for moving asteroids to pull the massive cruiser off course. The Vex vessel spins helplessly as human fighters attack its exposed sections. The Ceres mining colony contributes to the battle with long-range asteroid missiles. These massive rocks are fitted with guidance systems and quantum destabilizers. They travel slowly but hit with the force of small moons, crushing Vex ships that can't maneuver fast enough to dodge. Captain Dana's squadron strikes at the Vex supply lines. Human ships attack fuel depots and ammunition convoys using guerrilla tactics. The Aurora phases through a Vex supply ship, leaving quantum disruptions that tear the vessel apart from within. The artificial intelligence systems, developed at Alpha Base, prove devastatingly effective. Drone swarms controlled by quantum computers attack Vex ships faster than organic crews can respond. The drones sacrifice themselves to destroy critical systems, trading cheap automated units for expensive enemy vessels. Admiral Kane realizes his fleet is being picked apart piece by piece. The humans fight with a coordination that seems impossible for such a young species. Every attack is precisely timed to support others, happening simultaneously across multiple systems. But the humans pay a heavy price for their victories. Many colonies suffer bombardment before the defenders can drive off Vex forces. Thousands of human fighters die in desperate attacks against overwhelming odds. The war stretches human resources to their breaking point. Governor Mark coordinates the overall defense from his bunker on New Terra. Reports flood in from across. Human space, victories and defeats mixing together in a chaotic pattern. The humans are winning through superior tactics, but they're losing through inferior numbers. The turning point comes when Captain Dana discovers a weakness in Vex command structure. All enemy ships receive orders from centralized command vessels. If the humans can destroy these control ships, entire fleets will lose coordination. Dana leads a desperate attack on Admiral Kane's flagship supremacy. Her squadron uses every trick they've learned: quantum weapons, space-time distortions, and coordinated swarm attacks. The battle costs half her ships, but they succeed in crippling the Vex command structure. With their command ship destroyed, the Vex Second Fleet begins falling apart. Individual captains make contradictory decisions. Some retreat while others attack randomly. The organized Imperial formation dissolves into chaos. The humans press their advantage, attacking confused and isolated Vex ships. What began as an Imperial invasion becomes a rout as surviving Vex vessels flee back toward their own territory. Asterisk news of the Second Fleet's defeat reaches Emperor Call within hours. Half of his most powerful warships destroyed or crippled by human defenders. Admiral Kane dead, his flagship a drifting wreck. The impossible has happened twice. Humans have defeated the Vex Empire in open warfare. The Emperor stands in his war room, staring at tactical displays showing the disaster. His advisors whisper among themselves, fear replacing their earlier confidence. The humans have proven they can not only defend themselves, but actively hunt Vex forces. Mobilize the First Fleet, Emperor Call orders. Prepare the home guard. We will crush these humans with everything we have. His voice carries desperation, masked as determination. The Empire has never faced an enemy that threatened its very existence. But across the galaxy, other species have been watching the conflict with growing excitement. The Tal Republic secretly begins mobilizing its hidden fleets. The Rim World colonies start forming defensive alliances. The merchant guilds quietly shift their support away from the Empire. Captain Dana returns to New Terra as a hero, but she knows the war is far from over. Human losses have been severe, nearly half their converted warships destroyed or damaged. The colonies are running low on resources and trained personnel. We can't fight the entire empire, she tells the Colonial Council. We need allies. Other species who want freedom from Vex rule. Her words carry weight now that she's proven human capabilities in battle. The humans begin reaching out to potential allies through secret diplomatic channels. Ambassador Helen contacts the Tal Republic leadership, offering to share human military innovations in exchange for joint operations against the Empire. The response is immediate and positive. The Tal have been planning rebellion for decades, but lacked the weapons to challenge Vex supremacy. Human quantum destabilizers and space-time distortion technology could tip the balance in their favor. Within weeks, the first joint human-Tal operation takes place. Captain Dana leads her remaining squadron alongside Tal-fast attack craft in a raid on a Vex supply base. The combined force uses human technology and Tal knowledge of Imperial logistics to devastating effect. Emperor Call receives reports of rebellion spreading throughout his empire. Dozens of species are rising up, armed with human weapons and inspired by human victories. The 1,000-year-old Imperial Order is crumbling faster than anyone thought possible. The Vex First Fleet, commanded by Admiral Zek, begins its advance toward human space. This force represents the Empire's most elite units, battle-tested veterans with the most advanced ships. Emperor Call believes this overwhelming force will finally crush the human rebellion. Asterisk. But the humans are no longer alone. Tal squadrons join human defenders at key systems. The merchant guilds provide intelligence about Vex fleet movements. Even neutral species begin offering covert support to the growing rebellion. The decisive battle takes place at the Nexus, a strategic star system that controls access to multiple trade routes. Admiral Zek arrives with 200 Vex warships, expecting to break human resistance once and for all. Instead, he finds a combined fleet of humans, Tal, and other allied species waiting for him. Captain Dana commands the human forces from a new flagship, the Liberation, built specifically for this battle using lessons learned from previous conflicts. The battle rages for 3 days across multiple star systems. Human ships use their quantum weapons to disable Vex shields, while Tal fighters exploit the openings with precision strikes. Other allied species contribute their own unique capabilities to the coordinated assault. Admiral Zek watches his mighty fleet being systematically destroyed by opponents he still considers inferior. But the humans have taught their allies to fight with creativity and determination rather than following rigid military doctrine. The end comes when Captain Dana leads a final assault on Zek's flagship. The Liberation phases through the massive Vex dreadnought, its quantum weapons tearing the ship apart from within. Admiral Zek dies with his ship, taking the Empire's last hope of victory with him. Emperor Call receives word of the First Fleet's destruction while sitting alone in his throne room. The rebellion has spread to over half his territories. His remaining forces are either surrendering or switching sides. The empire that ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years is collapsing in a matter of months. The final message comes from Captain Dana herself, broadcast across all Imperial worlds. The age of empires is over. The galaxy belongs to free peoples who choose their own destiny. Those who wish peace will find it. Those who choose tyranny will face the consequences. Emperor Call abdicates his throne and flees into exile as rebel forces close in on Vex Prime. The great empire falls not to superior technology or overwhelming force, but to the simple human idea that freedom's worth fighting for. The galaxy enters a new age of cooperation and independence, forever changed by the day a single human warship refused to surrender to impossible odds.